to make the move. He'll get past Jimmy Johnson. And now, falling back just a bit in that inside line, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Look at the hands on AJ Allmendinger. Up in the air goes the 42 of Kyle Larson. Caution comes out. And another contact. Matt Kenseth hits. The one of Jamie McMurray flying down pit road. Kyle Larson up in the air, right in front of the grandstands. See him removing the steering wheel. A lot of damage to Kurt Busch's 41.
We're done.
Big disappointment. Daytona 500 winner, hoping to come back and defend.
Take a look. This is what happened to the 42.
How did he get back on the ground without flipping?
See right here, he gets down low. The 17 of Ricky Stenhouse tries to fill the upper lane. The 42 tries to block. And as you said, the 42 was destined to go airborne. The roof flaps deployed, setting the 42 back on the ground. And as that happened, the 41 of Kurt Busch crossed the tri-oval, took a hard hit. This is another great action shot right here. Watch this 42. Hits the wall, then gets pushed into the air by the 17. You see the roof flap open. The car sets back on the ground.
The 21 of Blaney, he's in the brakes, just nothing you can do. Remember, Matt Kenseth, Casey Kane, it got shuffled back. They got behind this wreck. Matt Kenseth did not get through it. Casey Kane did.
The 41 of Kurt Busch also came back across the racetrack. He hit it very hard into the safer barrier.
If you've ever been on a multi-ton airliner and taken off, those planes take off at 170 miles an hour. We're riding along at over 190 with the 42.
His hands off the wheel for 90% of that. Took his hands off the wheel, hoping not to injure his hands or his wrist.
We're in front of the 14. Check up.
What a sickening feeling. Looking out the windshield, a car in the air in front of you, not knowing what's going to happen.
That was Ryan Blaney's vantage point. Once again, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. had filled that hole, and a big hit by the 41 of Kurt Busch. The red flag has been displayed.
Those are the angles that just tremendous impact. The 41 down at the bottom of the racetrack gets caught in the quarter panel, it looked like. So you see him down there on the bottom. The action starts happening on the outside. Then the 41 gets clipped, turns right, up the wall.
One car came up, the other car came down. It's hard for me to see when it first starts. We always want to point fingers right here. They got together, but
I mean, it's simple to me that I think Ricky Stenhouse has committed to the top. I think Kyle Larson was a lane down. He either did not know or thought he could protect against the 17. If I use the wall as a reference, the 17 is running straight. It's the 42 moving to the right, gets onto his bumper. But that's what you do. It's 6 to go at Daytona. You have to protect. You have to be aggressive. If the 42 can squeeze the 17 and perhaps get him to crack out of the throttle, he'll have a run down the front straightaway.
I think it's important to note, though, when these cars are that close, inches apart from side to side, these cars don't track straight. When you get beside another car, it can push your car away. Sometimes it can pull it to it. So sometimes you have no wheel input whatsoever. You get into the guy in front of you. I just think that's close racing late in the race. I agree with you. Stenhouse never moves. He's perfectly straight here. Nevertheless, big impacts.
And once again, not a mid-pack accident. This is up towards the front. These are cars racing for the lead.
Up in the air. It's not the first time for Kyle Larson at Daytona where he has been up in the air in a car. If we go back to 2013 in Xfinity Series, Kyle Larson up into the fence. That's actually the engine that had come out of that car. They got caught up in the catch fence. The front end of the car completely torn off. So Kyle Larson up in the air once again at Daytona, this time in the Monster Energy Cup Series.
And the result of this, top three: Ty Dillon, David Reagan, A.J. Allmendinger.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was involved in the incident.
And Rick, you know, these tri-ovals, that is the concern. The cars come through, they're not very loaded, and as they get hit, coming to the start-finish line is normally where we see all the action. As they get hit by other cars, it kind of propels them up into the air. And unlike the back stretch, the front stretch, that catch fence is coming at it. So this is on board with A.J. Allmendinger, seeing right out of the helmet cam. You see the 42 off to his right, goes airborne, and that's it. The 47 is past the accident. He, at this point, can just stay wide open.
Yeah, it's clear from that angle. The 42 definitely came up.
And once again, what an amazing job by NASCAR to make sure these cars stay on the ground. That car got up in the air, but then dove straight back down to the ground.
And thank goodness, because when they get up in the air, like I was saying, in the trial with the catch fence coming back to you, we have seen cars get into that fence. You saw the Kyle Larson replay from 2013. Here's Austin Dillon from 2015. Same exact idea. The car goes airborne, right into the catch fence. The difference is he climbed multiple cars, and you see the damage to the fence, the damage to the car. Now, the fence, as violent as that is, and it's always awful to see, remember, the goal of that catch fence is to keep the vehicle inside the race facility. And it did that in that occasion. Huge impact, huge damage, but it's great to see the 42 come back on the ground and stay below the safer barrier and not get into the catch fence.
So red flag once again displayed at Daytona. Ty Dillon out in front of the field at Daytona. David Reagan, A.J. Allmendinger, the top three at Daytona with it'll be 5 laps to go when they come back by the start-finish line.
When an airplane's trying to slow down, the flaps come up. It's just like that. With the hood, it actually opens up and lets the air out from underneath the hood.
And that's basically the problem with race cars. Are they're designed to make downforce, they're designed to seal up. Well, what happens is when you take that vehicle that's sealed to the asphalt and it even just breaks the seal a little bit and gets a little bit in the air, it instantly turns into an airplane, and it wants to fly. It wants to fly like a wing. NASCAR had to come up with devices that weren't there all the time, but they would deploy in certain situations. That's what the roof flap and the hood flaps do.
And luckily enough, there wasn't another car that drove underneath the 42 car. Had a car driven underneath the 42 car, there's nothing roof flaps or anything else could do at that point. So fortunately had a place to come down on the racetrack cleanly.
Another wild ride for Kyle Larson at Daytona. Take a look at who's involved in this crash on lap 153 of the scheduled 160-lap race. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. running so well. Was up front. Matt Kenseth as well has led laps. Ryan Blaney, Matt DiBenedetto, Kurt Busch, Kyle Larson, Darrell Wallace Jr., Michael McDowell. Quite a few cars involved in this one to bring out the red flag.
What a relief it is to see Kyle Larson okay and released from the care center after going airborne. Kyle, what did you feel behind the wheel of the 42?
Yeah, I was leading that front line there, or whatever, 13, behind the 13, and I saw the 38 kind of ducked me inside, so I was going to leave him some room. I just squeezed Ricky and wrecked myself. So, yeah, I hate that I tore up a lot of cars. I was pretty loose at that point, and I was kind of hanging on, but was hoping to get clear to the lead. But yeah, once the 38 got inside me, I was just trying to leave him room, and kind of the way the air works, I felt like it pushed me out a little bit, and by that point I was already too high and into Ricky, so caused that one.
Good to see you're okay.
Thanks.
Unfortunate ending to Kyle Larson's night as well.
Ryan Blaney, who's also been released from the care center. He ran up front much of the night there, just kind of an innocent bystander. What was the vantage point from the 21?
I don't really know what happened. I just saw the 42 get turned. and get up in the air a little bit, and I just couldn't really miss him. I was already on the top, and I T-boned him, but it all happened pretty fast. I couldn't get out of the way, but I thought we had a really great car. We had the lead there for a bit, and we were racing hard. Everybody was racing really hard all night, and we got kind of shuffled out. I didn't pick a very good lane. I thought we were just working our way back forward, and that happened. So that stinks, but I can't thank Motorcraft and Quick Lane and Ford enough for what they do. We had a super fast car, but it's the way it goes sometimes. So we'll go on to Kentucky.
Thank you, Ryan.
Well, Jeff, you mentioned it. It was only a few laps ago. He was up front running with the leaders, made a little mistake, or not even a mistake, just got shuffled out, lost that track position.